This is what happens when you start focusing on yourself. You stop chasing, you stop overthinking, you stop waiting for people to choose you, and everything starts choosing you. You've been taught that focus on yourself makes you selfish, but focusing on yourself means you stop outsourcing your worth. You stop scanning the room for approval, you stop adjusting your energy to be chosen, and you stop abandoning yourself to keep the peace. And when you focus on yourself, your decisions are clearer, your standards get higher, and your nervous system finally relaxes. Because the woman who knows she's the source doesn't chase validation, she assumes it's already hers. Because how you show up changes everything.
Hey lovelies, welcome back to another episode. If you're new here, I'm Tia.
And I'm Leah.
And we are your manifestation sisters, helping you create the identity that makes life upgrades in business, money, success, love inevitable by becoming the wealthy woman at the center of it all. Let's jump into the episode. Most women will say that they're focusing on themselves, but what they really mean is they're focusing on themselves, but still reacting to the 3D, still reacting to everyone and still reacting to people and the environment around them and making it mean something about themselves. Still adjusting how they act and how they show up to other people's moods. Still hoping, waiting for something or someone in their life to change so they feel differently. That is not self-focus. That is not putting the focus on yourself. That is emotional outsourcing. That is seeking validation, proof, and getting your feedback from your 3D. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean doing more self-care. It means becoming more self-led. And what that means is you decide how you feel. You decide what you tolerate. You decide what you move towards before life tells you. You decide who you are before life, people, experiences tell you. You're not getting your external validation from the 3D. You're deciding, claiming, and choosing the very identity you are anchored and tuned into.
Absolutely. I think it's so important to put yourself back in the position of power. And oftentimes we're doing that by being self-led, being self-focused, pouring more into ourselves, loving ourselves more, and taking our focus and our attention off the things outside of us, which also changes our energy, which also makes us more magnetic, which also stops us from repelling the very things that we say we want. And when you actually start to focus on yourself, what you'll find is you stop needing answers from everyone else and really start trusting your own. You stop explaining yourself and start choosing yourself. You stop trying to force things that don't work and things start aligning together. You stop performing and start feeling solid in who you are. You stop waiting for life to move and you become the movement. So nothing changes externally, you do. And this is what the missing piece is for a lot of people, because we're always waiting for that external change. We're always waiting for things outside of us to change before we decide that we've already changed. Therefore, reality must change to reflect who we are now being, who we are now embodying.
That's perfect.
So when we change who we're being, when we change who we're embodying, when we change who we decide we are in this world, that is how we lead from a new self-concept and a new identity.
So if we look at this in the aspects of love, you're no longer chasing consistency. You're no longer going about your day and your whole mood depends on whether that person has texted you or not. You just expect it. You know you're worthy of consistent communication. You know you are the woman that is valued, nurtured, and committed to. But that's by choosing a self-concept that naturally has those assumptions, the way you think, feel, and believe about yourself. Your self-concept is who you think you are. In money, you stop waiting to feel ready. You stop expecting the worst case scenario. You stop checking your bank account with that pit in your stomach and that fear of, am I going to have enough money this month? But instead, you move, you talk, you act as the version of you that knows money shows up for her, that is consistently paid, that is valued. And you know that more is always available to you because money is an abundant resource. In life, you stop leading, you stop experiencing, you stop creating from survival. You stop picking manifestation up as a tool, as a method, as something you need to do to change your 3D experiences. Does that sound familiar? Because we've all done it. The reason we get into this is because we want to experience different circumstances. We want to change our reality, but we're not actually being the version of us that has experienced those changes. You've got to start leading your own experience and therefore assuming, thinking, feeling as the version of you that has the very things that you are looking to your 3D to reflect back to you. Not because manifestation is magic, not because things just have magically shifted, but because you have first. You have become the change you seek. That is why identity-led manifestation is so important. We're not teaching quick fixes. We're not teaching you to affirm over your reality. We're not teaching you to pick up a tool, a method, a technique. to manifest changes in your reality. We're teaching you to be the change. We're teaching you to stop guessing, to stop throwing spaghetti at wall, and actually sustain the things that you want, because they're just a reflection of who you claim yourself to be.
So trying harder isn't the answer. Consuming more content isn't the answer. Chasing tips or waiting for the perfect moment. But doing these behaviors and action and ways of being is exactly what keeps you stuck, keeps you guessing. Do you feel like you're doing everything right, but nothing is landing? Does this sound familiar? That's because life doesn't respond to effort. Effort alone cannot shift your reality. Doing more, consuming more, and waiting for signs. This may keep you moving, but it doesn't shift your identity. So when we're doing these kind of ways of being, it feels like we're being productive, but nothing is really changing, because even though we feel like we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing, we're doing it from a state in a version of self that says, I do not have this thing, I am not this version of myself, so I must try to do all these things just so I feel like I'm doing something, but it's not actually getting you anywhere because you're not in the identity of the version of you that has the very thing you say that you want.
It's like productivity movement. You think you're taking the steps, you think you're getting closer, you think you're closing that gap between where you are and where you want to be, but really you're just reinforcing the very gap that you're trying to get out of. Reinforce an identity that you're already anchored in. Like I always say, who are you being 95% of the time? That 5% of the time of getting yourself into this state, doing the tools, doing the affirmations, changing your thoughts. But as soon as you get a reflection back of that person not texting you, you go right back into the old story of thinking that you're not good enough and why are they not choosing you. That identity stabilization, you're wavering who you say you are, you're wavering what you get, you're wavering the assumptions of the identity that you're anchored into. 1 minute, I'm this bitch, I get what I want. The next, why am I not being chosen? Who am I? What am I doing wrong? So the solution isn't you doing more, it's locking into the identity. Instead of asking someone, please choose me, you're choosing yourself. Instead of you asking, where is this thing? I need proof, you put yourself back into alignment. Instead of thinking, oh wait, it's not the right time, you move, you take inspired action from the version of you that has the things that you want. Everything starts to reorganize and shift around the woman you've decided to be more dominantly. So instead of shifting out old self to new self, your energy, your actions, your daily reality is centered into this version of you that has the things that you want. And that is exactly what we'll guide you through in our brand new masterclass, How to Build a New Identity in 60 Minutes. You guys always ask us about identity work. You always ask, how do I become that version of me that has what I want? It's not another set of tips or exercise or just law of assumption and manifestation concepts telling you to persist, telling you to ignore the 3D. We're showing you in real time how to become the version of you that has what it is that you want. So your manifestation stop feeling inconsistent. Put the focus back on yourself. Change your self-concept and stop wavering in the belief of who you say you are. This is where the guessing ends and the predictability of becoming and being that version of you begins. So if you're interested, you can register for your free spot. The link is in the bio.
So if we also link this back to practical ways of embodiment, you know, when you're feeling anxious or when you're feeling like you're too plugged into the 3D, you're feeling triggered or unsure, pause and ask yourself, what would the woman who trusts herself do here? That is a different version of you. And then you do that, even if it feels uncomfortable, especially if it feels uncomfortable, actually, because I think this is how the nervous system learns. It learns through the moments where we feel uncomfortable, where we feel anxious. And it's not bypassing those feelings, it's acknowledging them, but not choosing to make it who we are. Our nervous system, it does relearn, it does rewire, it does recalibrate through those new actions that we choose to take in that uncomfortability. So it practices a new baseline of what feels safe and what feels familiar. And this is how that new identity stabilizes as well, right? Because we're now operating from a new self, a new version of how we're now choosing to show up and embody. So for example, if you're someone that runs a business and you're posting content and things like that, and it's very foreign to you, maybe feeling a bit uncomfortable in front of the camera. Even for myself and Tia, when we first started doing content, we needed to have an alcoholic drink.
So uncomfortable.
So now it's something we normally do. And sometimes we still trip up on our words or, you know, all the kind of things that happens. It's just natural, but you keep showing up anyway. You keep teaching yourself that this is normal, this is familiar, this is natural. It becomes so much easier to show up like that as a content creator, as a business owner. So you can do it through the uncomfortableness, you know, uncomfortable moments. So it becomes so ingrained in your identity that when you do it, it doesn't matter because you're showing up.
Yeah. Action leads identity.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big misconception, because for a long time, especially in creating the life that I want, I thought I was just affirming. I thought I was just visualizing. I thought I was just having the inner conversations and the self-talk, but I wasn't actually taking the inspired action of that version of me that has it. For example, like Leah said, if you're building that business and you want to be an influencer, you want to grow your YouTube, you need to post videos. You need to do the actionable steps that are also aligned with that identity. And that's what focusing on yourself is. You're self-led. You're choosing and deciding to be that version of you. Focusing on yourself isn't just about cutting people off or doing self-care. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond how you look. It goes beyond external validation. It's who you think you are, keeping those small promises to yourself, not self-abandoning, leading yourself through them uncomfortable moments, pouring into yourself, your goals, your hobbies, the purpose, the vision of how you want your life to look, feel, and what you want to create for yourself. You're not trying to eradicate every negative thing, but rather walking yourself through that and having that level of awareness of, am I showing up as the version of myself? Do my patterns align? Do my actions align? Instead of operating from comparison, validation, but rather letting alignment, ease, choice, decision, confidence, momentum lead in your life and who you say you are.
Absolutely. So I think the way this can look is if you're finding yourself being very outwardly focused, not very focused on yourself, you've been pouring into other people, you've been self-abandoning, you've been putting everyone else above you, you've been putting things on pedestals, you've been overgiving, people pleasing, all the things that we can naturally do as a person that's, being very outwardly focused. But being self-focused is about turning your attention on ways that you're no longer willing to do these things. So we can put it into an exercise of, hey, how am I currently outsourcing? How am I currently outwardly focusing? So write those things down. And then you want to go through each one of how you can change it, like I said. So if you're outsourcing your power, you look at ways of how you can take your power back, right? You start pouring more into yourself, your hobbies, your goals. If you're people pleasing, learn to say no more, set boundaries. If you find yourself not very focused on yourself, your own needs and your own wants, your own desires, look at ways that you could start to do that. And these little action steps are really going to start to rewire in a new identity as someone that puts themselves first, that sees themselves as the most important person in their life, because the relationship you have with yourself will always be the most important and will set the tone for every single relationship.
Yeah, that.
So with that being said, this is the exact process we're going to be diving into in our free masterclass, where you stop trying to second guess, overgive, overplease, outwardly focusing, and really start to focus on yourself and start magnetizing what it is that you want. So your manifestations no longer feel random, they show up more consistently. And we'll show you the step-by-step practices on how to embody the version of you that already has what you want. So if this sounds like something you would love to be a part of, join our free masterclass. The link is in our description for that. And with that being said, we're going to end the episode here. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have any feedback or comments, please let us know, and we'll see you in the next episode.